Yeah, I think that whole concept of like, I can't believe it's not been done. You know, when you think, so, you know, I went to, with Marie, we went to Catalina's not that long ago, you know, without even being that flash, you know, you spend $500, $600, and then at the end, you get given, I got a coffee, and
a shitty Victoria.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the fuck?
I think it was Victoria, I can't remember, but...
It doesn't matter, it probably is.
But it was, and it kind of didn't really go. And actually, what I probably wanted there, if I knew about the strength of the coffees, because we'd had a bit to drink, what I'd want is
Tell me what you think of that.
See, I still get just a nutty, like...
Yeah, good. You like that, don't you?
I was deciding. No. I like. It's got real. Like it starts off actually quite smooth and nice, and then it's got real bitter.
Probably. It shouldn't be bitter.
Not bitter, but
like coffee
underneath the tongue. It's like, so whatever.
Yeah, give me a taste. I'll taste the other side. I'll make another one.
COVID safe. So I prefer it with
it's a bit watery.
Less water. Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Yeah. So just drop it. I'll make another one. So that there.
Is this this is the caffeinated one? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna watch how many.
That's all right. I'll make you another one because I wanted to use a different portafilter. So I'm gonna take that out, and I'll make a naked. I'm gonna use naked portafilter.
So when did you start getting into doing all of this stuff with the actual making it? And did you buy it before you could know how to use it?
I bought a couple of coffee machines beforehand. They were just faking how to make coffee.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna blow a lot of cash on a Lamazoko because, you know, when it comes to a coffee machine, it's like the Ferrari of coffee machines. Proper commercial machine. So just to that, you said it was too watery, right? So I'm gonna reduce, for your palate, for the way you like your espresso, I'm gonna reduce the grind further down by about 0.5 point, and that will give us an equal 1-to-1 ratio for a really hardcore espresso.
Yeah, because what I like is, so the top of it looked perfect, where it was nice and creamy on the top, but then I like the creaminess go through it all, and with that they went from the creaminess to like liquid, and it's the liquid part.
Yeah, because you like the ratio to be 1-to-1. I just did a 1-to-2.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Right. So again, everyone's different in terms of what they want. You want a like a proper espresso. You want a proper espresso, and it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. So yeah, mate, I got into this maybe like 2 years ago, like properly. I bought a machine, and I was just like, fuck it. And it was kind of mid-COVID as well, where everyone was like, you can't go anywhere. And then trying to walk into a cafe, you're like, well...
Do you want to go anywhere?
I don't want to go anywhere. So I went and bought one. Rochelle was actually quite cool about it. She goes, if you buy this, you're never buying coffee again. I was like, yeah, all right. No problem.
So have you stuck to that? Have you never...
Yeah, I mean, we're both quite cool making coffee at home. And I mean, again, it's all about taste and quite like just tasting different coffees from different origins. For me, it's quite interesting to, you know, source a really nice bean, to be able to roast a really nice bean, to be able to make it like that whole end-to-end process. Yeah. I could find quite grounding. My Saturdays are generally, you know, hanging out, roasting for the orders for the week, being really present, and you know, I get the enjoyment there. If I'm not cycling or running or whatever, this is my mind thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what for cycling for me. I just all you're doing is moving your legs and just thinking, and then occasionally getting angry when some car tries to run you over. So it's kind of got a perfect mix of like your own mind space with some outlet for.
That's true. And if you're riding in a group, obviously, mate.
Group's different, and I don't often ride in a group because of that. Because I like riding by myself.
Yeah. How many times have we gone for a ride and you almost died?
What, from the cycling or from the car?
Both.
Yeah, like the cars are quite often.
And the gutters, you just seem to want to just go straight in. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You know.
That's why the gravel bike's so good, because it's got those
over the gutters.
Tires. Yeah. When was that? That was like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. And also really important to have everything warm, so that when the coffee does hit.
Well, that's another thing that with COVID it was annoying. Is that I like my espresso in a cup, in a espresso cup in the China, not in those keep cups. I'm not a massive fan of the keep cups because they're plastic, and then the cardboard ones I'm not a fan. So I'd rather have an espresso and have it there, and then leave rather than take it away. But
Man,
obviously COVID stopped that.
Yeah, I'm not giving it justice. This is I'm gonna have to dial it in some more.
Well, that's definitely less liquidy.
No, I'm gonna have to, it's not actually, it's the grind.
Ah.
It's the grind, so I'm gonna have to dial it in. This is like real, like you can taste that. Try that. But it's the grind. I've got to drop it a bit more.
But this is better.
Yeah.
So
I've got to drop the grind again.
So anywhere from this, I know. I actually think that sort of consistency.
Yeah, but I'll get you the next one.
Yeah.
I reckon I'll get it the next one. So again, it's like I'm dialing in a coffee here for you specifically the way you like it. You go into a normal coffee shop, they're like, oh, I'll have a whatever.
And that's why it varies.
That's the crap you get, yeah?
It was fun. The cafe at our office. So when we first moved there, like it's in the middle of nowhere, so you have no choice but to get there. The coffee from downstairs, and they had a lady, and I told her straight up. I was like, I don't like my espresso. I don't like it liquidy. And she was like, okay, this is what. And she did it, and the coffee, like, it wasn't great, but because the consistency was right, it was. It was good, and I appreciated that she did it, and then the owner, who was this lady's father, I said to him once that he did it. I said, I'm not being funny, but it's too liquidy, and he was like, this is how coffee is made, and then I never went back again. I was like, I'd rather walk 10 minutes to get another coffee and get it the way I want, than to have one that's just. Water, like a flavoured water.
Well, I reckon this one should have hit the mark. We've actually ran out of these beans, so we're gonna have to either grind some more, roast some more. Yeah, this will do. But I reckon I've got it. I reckon I've really got it now. I think. So I've changed the portafilter. Basically, the portafilter is a naked portafilter. So when you brew coffee, it's really important. It's really important that when you grind the coffee a specific way.
Where's the other one so I can compare the?
Oh, these. This guy, right? So this is quite naked, which means when the coffee comes out of here, it comes out with one kind of like a spurt versus what it was doing before. And it was a lot to do with the way we ground it. So for this particular coffee, and because it's sitting probably at the end of its 2 weeks, so it's going down, it's getting into that stale phase, I've got to grind it finer for it to, when the water pressure goes through, to get it to that perfect shot, 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. Because I thought, I didn't want to say.
See, everyone cheats with that, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to say for the camera, but I was like, but I think you've not screwed it on properly because it was spurting in. But that's how it's meant to be. So that you're actually not making a really good coffee. You'll understand when it comes out again, but
yeah, and
this is even the way it comes down in it.
Yeah. So here's another thing as well. When you go and buy yourself like a home coffee machine, they don't show you any of this stuff. They actually, like, I think it was the Sunbeam, or what was it? Some of the coffee machines, they've got a double wall filter, which means that essentially what they do is they put all the pressure through one hole, which means you're faking how to make coffee, where this is like a full basket where it allows you to
And how
see.
tight? What does the packing of the?
Just to keep it level, so that all the water comes through in one way, equally. If I can explain that better. So if you had ridges, coffee would get into those ridges rather than going through. You know, uniformly. Yeah. Hey, again, so technical. Fuck. For the love of making Josh
and then the other thing to really enjoy it, I do like.
So watch this. So watch under there, right? So this is a pre-infusion as well. So if you watch under there, it should now be perfectly under. See now? Watch this. Watch this. See this?
Yeah.
That is a perfect coffee extraction.
Yeah. And that's coming out a lot better on this one.
Correct, because of the grind.
Well, you really screwed it up before then, didn't you?
Yeah, now that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so that's the consistency that I like. Yeah, and now I can just...
Now you want sugar?
I'll taste it without the sugar. All I can smell is the smell smells exactly the same as it did when you ground it.
Look at that crema.
So that's much better. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could probably dial it in a little bit further.
And then I put 3 sugars in.
No problem. I don't mind. I'm not saying no.
I think I've put too much sugar in there. I'll be jumping around soon.
Amazing! I can't wait.
Oh look, and then when you stir it, the head still comes back on it.
Yeah.
Which is what you want, you know.
Yeah. So that could be even thicker. I think I did a 1:1 ratio 0.15. I reckon I could dial it in further for your 1:1. That could go even thicker.
Yeah, I think so. But I like that.
You like that?
So when it's I guess more liquefied, I don't enjoy the coffee.
Right. You're proper Italian, you are.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so like a good espresso, like pretty hardcore espresso. Do you like that?
Yeah, that was good, nice. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to have another caffeinated. No,
you're right. I can only give you taste. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. That was for you. I'm going to write that down for you. If you buy coffee from Barty, I'll have to roast it a little bit darker to achieve that burnty taste.
So that's a good point. Like, do you do that on your? You know how when you buy a bike, you get fitted, and they take your measurements whenever you go back to the bike shop. Are you going to do that with this? So that someone says this is the.
And that's our USP. It's all made to order. So every single profile at the back of every single bag has a profile number. So every single roast, like that number there, every single roast I measure. So you can call us and go, hey, I didn't like that much. Can I have a refund? But more importantly, we'll just ask you more around what your flavour profile is so that you can dial it in further.
Yeah, okay.
So that one there was the Black Barty, which is the one. So every roast, again, every roast has a profile number. Oh wait, no, write all this shit down. So that was that was on the 26th. So what is it today?
The 5th.
So that's 20. Yeah, about 2 weeks. 13 days. 6.
It likes just under
11, 12 days.
Do you not remember the song that tells you how many days in the month?
I don't have kids, mate.
I've not taught them that. I always forget it. But 31 days.
So that's sitting on 8 points on the niche, and it could go down to 7.5, which is really interesting on the black. Okay, so what did you think of that flavour profile?
What was different when it was thickened? That bitterness that I said I got at the end of it, I didn't get that bitterness.
Lower temperature, and then Again, it was a lot to do with the grind.
Okay.
So let me give you some more water, so you can cleanse your palate.
And dilute the caffeine, so...
No, not really. It's just...
So I'm just buzzing.
Mate, you can buzz as much as you want. Mate, I've always loved smashing one of these double shot espressos before a bike ride.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon it's all in your head, but you do pump it up.
No, 100%.
You do smash out a good ride after that.
100%.
All right, so I'm gonna now, let's talk about, so you thought that was a good shot of coffee. Taste. I know that coffee's super smooth, and that coffee specifically, the way I made it is irrelevant to that coffee and that roast. That coffee is a specific espresso coffee.
Yeah.
A double shot or a single shot espresso coffee, right? It's super smooth, and that's probably why I gave it to you, because I think you would love that, and I think that resonated well with you. If I was to go chocolate or fruit, which would you prefer?
I'd probably ordinarily say fruit, but I want to try this chocolate one, because the fruit one, when you're saying the fruit before, I found it difficult to get that smell, and maybe because I have no association in my mind before fruit and coffee. Whereas
so there's another Ethiopian that's from Guji, which is it's like a cherry ripe, it's like bubblegum. That type of taste.
Right.
And then if I was to go another way with you, I would probably even pick the chocolate Barty, which is like a chocolate bomb. I know how much you love your chocolate.
Yeah.
You're a fucking animal when it comes to chocolate, aren't you, Josh?
I had the 500. Marie bought a 500 gram bar. I think it's the 500, the big square one. It was the big square one, and I ate it in about 2 days. And I've eaten a kilogram of chocolate in one night. Once it was like.
Where did you put it?
Yeah. Admittedly, it was at university, and I was stoned, and so that helped. But I can still eat a lot of chocolate.
Yeah, we know. So, is it because of the taste or the moistness? And when it comes to chocolate flavour, what do you?
So it's basically the sweetness. I've got a sweet tooth. And then it's probably how I eat my chocolate is I let it melt in my mouth,
right?
And then I eat it that way. So it's the whole texture, I guess, and
right. Okay,
and it's quite more.
I think I got you sorted. So we have this coffee which is honey processed. Coffees go through washed, natural, or honey, and also fermented processing. That's just another layer of complexity, or to get a different flavour profile out before we even roast it. So this is from a Dominican Republic. It's a honey processed Dominican Republic, and it's like literally like a dark chocolate mocha bomb if you have it. Medium acidity. I think that would really hit your spot, especially in an espresso if we were to dial that in.
Okay, and when you say the acidity, because obviously when you drink wine, the acidity comes here.
Yeah.
But that's because it's a liquid and you correct. Get it down. But how do you the acidity when you drink coffee? Because it's not going down it's going down. Obviously you're.
Yeah. So with that coffee there, what did you think of the acidity?
Because now you're saying it. I've still got a taste on the top of my palate.
That one is a beautiful, clean coffee. Like that one is made.
But it doesn't taste. I wouldn't say it's acidic. Yeah.
Correct. So then we're going to lift that acidity to.
But where does the acidity come through? It does still come through. Yeah. Okay.
So the acidity when someone says acidity in coffee, that doesn't mean like it tastes like it's more that fruity kind of apple skin type of taste acidity.
Okay.
So it's a different type. So it's almost acidic to a sweet level. I think that's wrong to say that, but
yeah,
like it's almost like it's that chalkiness, and yeah, it's a palate thing. Everyone's different.
Yeah, or like when you have a sour, you know
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yeah. So like a sour apple, or so you know.
No, I'm talking. You know the sweets. The sweets.
Yeah,
I had some last night. And so you know, and that's where you're like, it's still it's a different sensation from the acidity when you're drinking the wine, but it's still there.
But that's amazing. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful coffee. So then I'm thinking there's definitely two profiles that I'd like you to taste. Is obviously the one from Dominican Republic. We've got loads of them upstairs.
We've both got Vans on.
I know. I'm quite into my Vans.
I've got into them. These are my first pair of Vans ever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So like there's obviously the red Barty, which is from Ethiopia. It's a Guji, super complex. It's amazing, but its acidity level's high because of the fruit forward, or the other one, which is obviously the chocolate, which I reckon you'd be a rock star with that. Like that's just your everyday cup. It'll blow your mind. And I'm not sure you're the type of person that would drink like peaches in a cup.
No, yeah. So like I see where when the question was coming, like I like fruit and chocolate, but obviously if it was coming, I wouldn't ever have a fruity.
So like for example, here's something that
fruity drink or something like
This is something
sounds awful.
This is something that's more. Yeah, smell that. Tell me what you're smelling there.
It's definitely like, so I got the nuttiness before.
Yeah.
That I thought this hasn't got any of that.
What do you think? Like,
there is I can actually smell some sort of fruit, but
it's not fruit.
It's not chocolate.
It's definitely not chocolate, but it's more like, okay, I'll be like, what about like not aniseed, but more like vegetables.
Yeah, it's not aniseed because I had
it's
fennel last night.
More like vegetables, more like like lettuce or.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
So,
but it's definitely like that one before was like quite for me. I thought it smelled quite nutty-ish and like it felt heavier, and this smells like lighter.
Yeah, that's right. So that's a pure pour over. That is a really like a watery type. So this one's got a lot more of a vegetable profile. Not my type. Not for me. But sort of tea kind of vegetable type of taste. Beautiful coffee, but not for my character.
You definitely need. You know what you need to do with these things is you definitely need the food that you think it is, because otherwise, because it's really difficult to, when someone says what does it smell like, and this is something that we always say when you're doing the wine tasting, is like someone comes out and says, oh, can you get these these earthy, and they come up
such
with
bullshit,
and you're like, when they tell you're like, oh yeah, I can get it, but when before it's kind of like you recognise it, but you don't know what it is. But if you then had a layout of the different types of food and say, okay, what one do you think it's like, and then you could compare the two. Actually,
really interesting point, really good point that you made. Again, going into fine dining, we blow so much money on getting an awesome degustation, and then at the end you get this shitty black fucking coffee that tastes like rubbish. It should be paired with something that we're making, which is a specialty. But
especially if there's a degustation. If you think Tetsuyas, you could start at midday and you finish at 5 potentially. There's 10 courses. So during that, why aren't you having and you only have a coffee at the end. But if you do the matching wines and you may want something in between, but you wouldn't ordinarily because it doesn't go with any of the food.
Correct.
So
correct. So we like talking about more complex beans that we've got. I've got this Geisha bean from Don Pepe. It's from Panama.
I thought you were going to say Japan.
No, from Panama. It like $48 for a bag of coffee. Probably about $28 for a cup of coffee. The champagne of coffee, but it tastes like peaches in a cup. And so I bought the sort of the cheaper version of this particular lot of coffee, and then you go double again, which is the all natural.
Peaches in a cup sounds awful though.
Well, yeah.
It's like
peaches, raspberries, you know.
Ah, okay.
Like,
I'd like to. Have you got any one of those?
What?
To try,
taste?
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking about this when I was obviously looking. I just had to think about, you know, how we know each other, and we like the sort of the good things in life. I knew that you would want to taste that coffee. Happy to roast it, but it's going to take 2 roasts, because I definitely want to roast the Dominican Republic for you.
Yeah.
Because your everyday coffee would be that, and I want to send you away with that. But I also want to. What I wanted to do today was roast the Don Pepe's Geisha, and then we do the pour over, and then we put it in a can, so you can take it with you.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds. I mean, you know, in the can, like how long?
This is what we don't know yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's all natural. So I'm going to spend like the next month or 2 just working out the longevity or shelf life of what a pour over will stay on a shelf.
That's always, and so anything in a can. When you think of like how it's going to be distributed and how it's going to be, you know, and where it needs to go, like the longevity, like you've got to factor in.
I reckon it's like, so because we're made to order, I reckon 3 to 4 weeks in a fridge plus.
But again, it's going to come down to 3 to 4 weeks in a fridge. But how long has it taken to get to that fridge? And so you know a good example is when
100%.
we freight in the duty-free store in Auckland. We freight our chocolates. You know, we have global deals and we freight them from overseas. And you've got to factor in that 3 months. You've got 3 months then. Chocolate has a use-by date, and you've got that 3 months, and then you can only keep the chocolate in the store with if it's expiry is like 6 months or under. You know, you got to get rid of it pretty quickly, and so all of that has to be factored in, that whole supply chain, and that's why I think with coffee in a can, there's going to have to be like some sort of I say preservative, just to give it some sort of longevity. Like,
well, that's the objective for us, to be able to make to order locally, to pick up locally, because there is no way coffee can stay longer in a cup or in an espresso pod for longer than fucking 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So what are they putting in it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So like, you know, you look at Boss, and is it?
Is that yours or mine?
That's yours.
That's yours.
No, it's yours.
Oh, yeah. Keep more. You look at Boss, and they have to like keep it.
Well, it's going to be sugar, and you look. It's like when you look at a can of. So I had a can of Fanta the other day. I hadn't had one for years, and it made me laugh. It was like no artificial colours or preservatives, and you pour it out, and it's like there is no way this is orange from an orange, and so it's some it's chemistry in action, but I have no idea what it is if it's not artificial, and so there must be ways to get it done.
So have you got time to go through 2 roasts?
How long does that take?
Well, they both take like 15 minutes to roast, but it's prep.
Yeah.
How much time have you got?
Well, what time? No, you said till about 10:30. So
11, yeah. Right. Right, cool. Let's go upstairs and pick some beans.
Yeah.